The hum of my laptop fan was the only sound in my cramped apartment at 2 a.m. when the screen flickered and died. I swore under my breath, thinking it was just another glitch in my ancient machine. But when the power surged back, my screen displayed a single line of code I hadn't written. Unlock the vault, or the city sleeps. I'm Noah Kendall, a 32-year-old freelance coder living in a rundown corner of Ashwood, a tech-driven city where skyscrapers gleam with digital billboards and every streetlight hums with smart sensors. I'd been scraping by, fixing bugs for startups and dodging rent hikes, when that message turned my life into a high-stakes game I didn't sign up for. The code wasn't just text, it was a command, pulsing through my system, and within minutes, my phone buzzed with an anonymous text. You have 24 hours. Check the server logs. I'm no stranger to late-night coding marathons, but this felt different. The server logs on my machine, which I used for freelance gigs, showed an intrusion. Someone had slipped a worm into my system, tied to Ashwood's municipal grid. I traced it to a hidden server buried in the city's infrastructure, one controlling everything from traffic lights to water pumps. If that message was real, someone was threatening to shut down the entire city. I tried to laugh it off as a prank, but when I checked my bank account, $50,000 had appeared with a note. First payment. Finish the job. My heart raced. This wasn't a joke, it was a trap. Ashwood wasn't just any city. It was a tech utopia, built on the promise of seamless connectivity. My grandfather, Eli Kendall, had been one of its first engineers, designing the backbone of its smart grid before he retired to a quiet cabin upstate. He'd left me his old journals, filled with cryptic notes about safeguards he'd built into the system backdoors only he knew about. I'd always thought they were the ramblings of a paranoid old man. Now, I wasn't so sure. I dug out his journals, their pages yellowed and scrawled with diagrams. One entry stood out. The vault is the heart. Protect it, or Ashwood falls. The vault. I'd heard rumors of a central server, a myth among coders, supposedly controlling the city's core systems. If it existed, it was the key to everything, and someone wanted me to crack it. I didn't sleep. By dawn, I'd traced the worm to a shell company, Nexus Dynamics, a shadowy outfit that had been buying up tech startups across Ashwood. Their CEO, Cassandra Holt, was a darling of the city's elite, always on the news touting progress. But her company's servers were routing encrypted traffic to my laptop, and the code they'd planted was designed to unlock the vault, a failsafe Eli had built to prevent unauthorized access to the grid. If I cracked it, I'd hand Nexus control over Ashwood's power, water, and communications. If I didn't, they'd crash the city anyway. I was screwed either way. I called my old friend Lila Torres, a cybersecurity analyst who'd worked for the city before going private. She met me at a diner, her eyes narrowing as I showed her the code. Noah, this is military-grade encryption, she whispered. Nexus isn't just a tech firm theory tied to offshore accounts, maybe even organized crime. Lila had her own reasons to hate Nexus. They'd strong-armed her out of a contract last year, threatening her family. She pulled up her laptop and showed me Nexus's pattern, buying distressed properties, rigging city contracts, and now targeting the grid. They're not after profit, she said. They want control. The clock was ticking. By noon, traffic lights across Ashwood started glitching, grid lights flashing chaotically, causing pileups. Social media exploded with reports of water shutoffs in the suburbs. Nexus was flexing its muscle, showing me what the city sleeps meant. I remembered Eli's journals. The vault has a kill switch. Find it in the old relay station. The relay station was a derelict building on Ashwood's outskirts, a relic from the city's early days. I grabbed my tools and headed there, Lila in tow, both of us knowing we were walking into a lion's den. The station was a maze of rusted panels and flickering lights. Deep inside, I found a terminal straight out of the 90s, its screen glowing with Eli's custom interface. His notes were right, the vault's kill switch was here, a manual override to lock the grid against intruders. But as I typed, the terminal spat back an error. Access denied. Secondary authentication required. My stomach dropped. Eli had hidden a second key, and I had no idea where. That's when my phone buzzed again. Check your mail. Outside my apartment, a package waited no return address, just a USB drive. Plugging it in revealed a video of Cassandra Holt herself, her polished smile chilling. Mr. Kindle, your grandfather was stubborn, but you're smarter. Unlock the vault, or Ashwood goes dark tonight. Lila hacked into Nexus's servers while I stalled, finding proof they'd been siphoning city funds through fake utility contracts. But the real bombshell was a memo. Nexus planned to crash the grid, blame it on a cyber attack, and seize control during the chaos to install their own systems. My grandfather's vault was the only thing stopping them. I scoured his journals again, finding a scribbled note. The key is in the light. It clicked. Eli loved puzzles. He'd hidden the secondary key in Ashwood's oldest streetlight, wired directly to the vault's network. We raced to the city center, dodging police cordons as power outages spread. The streetlight's base had a hidden panel, and inside was a chip engraved with Eli's initials. Back at the relay station, I plugged it in, and the terminal sprang to life. But Nexus was one step ahead. As I activated the kill switch, locking the vault, alarms blared. 3 men in black gear burst in, hired muscle sent by Holt. Hand over the chip, one growled, pulling a gun. Lila tackled him, giving me time to hit the final command. The terminal flashed green. The grid was secure. But the men didn't stop. A shot rang out, grazing my arm, and I dove behind a panel. Lila, ever the fighter, knocked one out with a wrench, but we were outnumbered. That's when the station's lights flared, and a voice crackled over an old intercommunalized voice, recorded decades ago. Intruder alert. System lockdown initiated. Trapdoors slammed shut, trapping 2 of the men. Eli had built a fortress. Police swarmed the station, tipped off by Lila's earlier call to a contact in the mayor's office. Cassandra Holt was arrested that night, her empire exposed as a front for money laundering and extortion. The city's grid stabilized, and Ashwood's residents never knew how close they'd come to collapse. Lila and I became local heroes, though I refused the spotlight. I found Eli's final journal entry. The grid isn't just wires, it's trust. Protect it, Noah. My apartment, once a coder's cave, became a hub for community tech projects, teaching kids to code and guard their city's future. Nexus's fall sparked debate. Show much power should one company hold? Who watches the watchers? I didn't have all the answers, but I had Eli's chip, his journals, and a city worth fighting for. If you've ever felt a faceless corporation pulling your strings, know this. Sometimes the quiet coder in a rundown apartment holds the key to bringing them down. Share your fight. We're listening.